Hi, Pesach, welcome. Hi, I guess now you can hear me, right?
Hey, yeah,
Great, how are you?
thank God. Thank God. Things worked out with the resume, I think. I probably could have done a better word with keeping keywords in mind though. But just finessing the issue of like my work situation was
Mhm.
that was enough.
Wait, the last part I didn't hear? That what?
Finessing the part about my work situation was that was enough for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not I'm not really crazy about my work situation right now, and I want to
Mhm.
get out of it, something better.
Yeah, I understand. So your previous position is more the position you liked, and this is like downgrade, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely a down in terms of responsibilities, in terms of the quality of the organization, in terms of the pay,
Mhm.
and I took the job because like I don't want to be on getting me out to lie like all my life, and
Mhm.
you know, and it's easier to find work if you're working, because like
Yeah,
at least like a you know, you feel like a
definitely.
schlump
Yeah.
when you're like unemployed at work.
No,
But
it's good
I
that you
mean,
have a job, although it's not your dream job, but it's still good. And if you're not working, then yes, it's harder to find another job. It's just it's just as simple as
yeah,
that. So as either so, in any case, it's good that you have a job, and that you're working, and that you have something on your resume right now, and who knows what will come, what new opportunities will come your way, even from where you're working now. You don't know. Hi, Joe. Welcome. So it's we have 4 minutes before we start. Yeah, 4 minutes. Okay. Okay.
Where is everybody?
I have no idea. I have really no idea. I think I'll just start with your resume.
Huh?
I'll start with your resume.
Okay.
And then we'll see who shows up.
Yeah.
So because I received, hi Adam, I received 6 resumes. So hi Clara. So if based on 6 resumes, if we have up to 10 minutes for each resume, and let's just welcome everyone. People are being kicked out as well, I see. Okay. All right, so I will start with your resume, Zach. First of all, what I wanted to, you were the only one that sent me the resume in not in PDF, but in docx. So that was the first thing that I noticed right away. Oh, he has trouble. He left the building again. I think he has some technical difficulties. Okay, so this resume I received in docx format instead of PDF. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. So please send it in PDF because your formatting will stay intact. In this case, I assume the formatting stayed intact, but yeah, it's always better to send it in PDF. So that's the first thing. The second thing I noticed right away is the link to his LinkedIn profile. I didn't show you yet how to shorten it, but I did mention it in the last workshop that it's best if this is shortened, so that it would be the only thing you would write on your resume would then be, let's assume that Pesach Benson is available, then the only thing that you would write in your resume would be linkedin.com/in/Pesach Benson. So I think it's better if I just quickly show you guys how to do this.
I've got bad Wi-Fi connection.
What did you say? So you would go to your, I can't hear you, but I'll just continue. So you would go to your profile, and then on the top right here, you see edit public profile and URL. You click it. And then here you see edit your custom URL. So you would of course click the pen, and then here in your case, you have numbers and letters. So you want to get rid of that. So in this case, it's just my first and last name, and that is my URL. So this is the URL you would put on your resume. You could leave in the www dot, but you don't even have to. But in any case, you can leave out the first part, and then in your case, you would get rid of this part as well. So that's the second thing I wanted to say. Then for your resume, you have a section called Other Experience and a section called Achievements. What I would want to do, what I would suggest you to do is to group some of the experience into the work experience and some of it into education. Because if I understand correctly, for instance, let me see. For instance, the executive editor, the student newspaper, I would add that, include that here. So when you were studying, you wrote for the student newspaper. Then you make the education more rich. Then also, like for instance, you worked at honest reporting, and this is about honest reporting. So then again, you would make this experience more interesting, and then you would make it cleaner. Then you would have like work experience and education, and the other experience, some of it may be a separate work experience. I don't know, maybe this one would be a separate work experience. So this one would then be incorporated into the education. And I don't know exactly when this happened, you know best. So this one would be under honest reporting, this one as well. So those would be achievements under honest reporting. And this one would then, let me think, probably belongs to this one. So all in all, you would have two, you would get rid of two sections, but you won't get rid of the content itself. So you would just have richer work experience and even richer, education. Do you understand what I mean?
I think so.
Okay. Does anyone else have something to say about this resume? Some feedback?
Yeah. It's a bit after the roundabout, but
Yeah. I don't know who it was. And someone, I have to mute someone as well.
Can I talk?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's just a question. Do you think it would be a good idea or a bad idea to align the text to the left? The entire text, like also other education, other experience and achievements in education.
Yeah.
Should they be aligned to the left?
Yeah. So what I would say, so you get rid of this as it is right now. You would get rid of it. And then, yes, well, look, here he has work experience center. So then he could leave this centered as well. But this can be there, but can be aligned to the left. There's no need for it to be here. And also this wouldn't be bullet points if you added more information. So the bullet points would disappear because, for instance, this part would then become a bullet point beneath this part. And this would then be bold. This would then look like a work experience. So with a bold part, for instance, so BA political science would be bold, and then you would say University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and then you would say, you would put the date like this. So you would do it as you did it there. So then the bullet point would be for this part.
Okay.
So good point, yeah. This is something I saw on another resume as well. I don't remember which one, but yeah. There's no need, there wouldn't be a need then to not have it aligned to the left.
And I have one more question. If we look at education, we have here both the BA and the course in our best words. And I remember you saying on a previous meeting that we should separate education and courses.
Well, yeah, usually you would separate it, but this is really an extensive course, so you could choose to combine it as well. I think usually you would also put the more recent ones on the top, but because this is your highest degree, of course, you put it on top. Also, it's always good to say that it's in progress. I saw someone else do that as well, so that you're still doing this course. And maybe even elaborate on the course subjects, the classes you take. Now you see, okay, more calm, but because courses can be, you have 1 hour courses and you have courses like this that are really extensive. So don't be afraid to put in some details so that they know how serious you are about this course. It's not just,
Okay.
an course on LinkedIn or something within an hour. It's like, yeah, extensive course.
How should I describe, how should I describe the course then?
Well, you can include like the subjects, like the different classes you have, and then they know what it is that exactly that you're learning. So for instance, each class could
Okay.
be, you could elaborate on each class, like the subject of each class, you could include it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're moving on to Joe. Let me see, a lot of open things. Yes, moving on. Oh, sorry. Moving on to Joe. So the first thing that I saw was there was a second page that was empty. So you see page 1 of 2 and then page 2 of 2. So this is, of course, a matter of getting rid of the second page. Also, I saw that there were columns and I immediately wanted to check if the text, how the text would be picked up in a system. So I selected all the text and then copied it. And then if you put it in a text editor, I wanted to show you what happened. So make plain text, and then you would copy, and then you would see that some things would go wrong. So I hope it's not too small. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, so because the text was not plain, this is what happens. So first of all, for instance, here you see writing content for high performing sites, marketing, writing, and video scripts. It's all, there are no spaces. Also here, the dates, they have no spaces. Here, the dates have spaces between each letter. There are no full stops. So this is a good example of what would happen if your resume would get, if you would upload this resume to a system, and the system would import it and like this. So then it's not so strange that the system might misunderstand some things. Dates, for instance, might misunderstand, and at least this. So this is a good example of what could happen. So that's why it's always important to check that. I also looked up a website for you, for anyone that wants to check it. If something like text editor is not available, you have, for instance, texteditor.co. And then you would paste your text and see what happens. So instead of using the text editor I just used, then you would see how your resume, how your text will get imported. So that's those are the first two comments. Then for education, I wanted to know, like, I don't know about this myself. I don't know this academy. So do you have, what kind of degrees do you have? Are these classes, or are these the education, is this your study, or is this your degree? I wanted a little bit more information about that.
I think you said something on the chat. This is equivalent of high school.
Okay. So if it's okay.
In UK, we call it A levels. It's basically when you finish high school, like that's what it's called, like the diploma that you get after like the exams. They called A levels.
Okay. And then you would have more than one?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So for someone that's not from the UK, we would have to look up what this means. Like, if I would see psychology, so I would think, okay, this is like university maybe, but I'm not sure. But I would have to check it out. So it might be good to explain. Yeah. Also, what I was a bit confused by the dates. So here, let me check. Yeah. So here you say 2009 to 2011. And here it's 2011, 2013, 2013, 2015. But in this position, you only say August 2013 up to July 2015. So, but if these three roles, were within the same company, then here you would also say 2009 up until 2015, and then explain what the different dates are. Also here, this is just something that some recruiters might pay attention to. You say up until July 2016, but here you started in June 2016. So it's like, did you have a double job for 1 or 2 months, or what is the story? So I would just double check the dates. Also here you call yourself, of course, a content writer, and also now you're a self-employed content writer. That I want to see that also in your profile. I want to read content writer in your profile. Now it says adaptable professional with proven communication, writing, technical skills. I would want to know, instead of professional, for instance, you could say content writer. So you're immediately telling us what you are. You made use of bullet points, and that is always good. And you also used 2 or 3, so that is nice. I would also add them here and here. Then you have some everywhere. So 2, 3, 2, 3, and then you could add, if you add 1 or 2 here and 1 and 2 here, then it's uniform. Then every role has 2 or 3 bullet points. That would look better. And then what I also saw is 3 Udemy courses. And I thought what you could do is go to the course on Udemy. You probably have it in your, the history of your courses, and then look for the tutor or the school. And then instead of saying Udemy, then use the name of that school. Then you have probably 3 different tutors, 3 different schools where you did courses. You could also add the dates as well if you want more, specifically if it's recent, then it's good always to show people. And of course, you can add Our Best Words, the course you're doing right now, and then say that it is still in progress. Yeah, any questions about that? No. All right, great. I think we're right on track with 10 minutes for each resume I received. For those of you that came later, I received 6. So if we take 10 minutes for each, and then we have time for some questions, then it should be fine. All right, so we're moving on to Clara.
Sorry, I'm driving, so I can't, I'm here.
Okay. So your resume, I have to say, the first thing I notice, it's too much text. It's like, you don't want to read that much text. So that is the first thing. even though it's on a one pager, you see a lot of text and you don't see a lot of white space. So for instance, this section is all text, no white spaces, and already you as a recruiter, you're already feeling, oh, do I have to really look at it closely because I don't feel like it. So that is the first thing and the most important thing. Here I also
What shall I write? How? I mean, like just make like 2 sentences per description.
Yeah, first of all, you can make things shorter for sure. I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that. And there are also some things I think you can leave out entirely. I'll get back to that. I also saw that the bullets were not aligned properly. So here it's a little bit like this.
Right.
But in any case, this is not how bullets should be used, because you're mentioning the title here and the company and the date. That's great. But then the whole description here is a bullet point. But the things of the reason we use bullet points are to list things. So you would either get rid of the bullet point entirely, or you would use multiple bullet points. So instead of, for instance, this section, you actually have 3 sentences. So those 3 sentences could be 3 bullet points within that work experience. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can make it a little shorter as well, so that it aren't really long sentences. And then you would have a full stop with white space before you would start with the next work experience.
Okay.
Then I saw here 20 years experience with maternity breaks. With maternity breaks, I would leave out. I don't think there's a reason that you would have to include that, and that it would help you. And then this, you have a whole section here with management committee positions in the nonprofit sector. I think you should either, depending on the role you're after, either remove the whole section from your resume to keep your resume cleaner, or move it to its own section, so that you would say, like, so that it would have its own title. Like here, you would have a whole section for this. So depending on the depending on the role you're after, you should consider, will it help me?
If I'm after a management role in a non-profit sector, so I can use that.
Yeah, exactly. If you think this will help me, include it, but in a different section. If it won't help you, get rid of it. And then you may always mention it. But for now, it's a lot of positions, a lot of text, and less is more in this case. And then let me see where I saw this. Yes, so then you have a section called career accomplishments. What I would do is, these are 4 accomplishments. I would incorporate them into the experience. So that now when we read your resume, we start with your career accomplishments, but we don't have like the full picture yet. So we want to know in what role and when and how. So I would say, like, look at them and to which role do they belong, and then use it as an achievement within that role, because each role can have like 1 or 2 key achievements. So then you could use it like that. Do you understand? And then of course,
I think.
Okay, and then of course also can include this course you're doing right now. And I think that those are the most important parts. Does anyone have something to add?
I didn't put LinkedIn. I forgot about it. Is it necessary to put a LinkedIn link?
I would also do it, always do it, but maybe only after only if your LinkedIn profile is a little bit optimized. But in any case, recruiters will check out your LinkedIn profile or your social media accounts. So
Right.
it looks really professional, and they can just go ahead and straight
So
from
the
your
truth-
resume, go to your LinkedIn profile. What did you say?
Yeah. My LinkedIn profile is updated with all this work. Also, it's also volunteering work and a non-profit. So probably if I put my LinkedIn
Oh, you're stuck.
link, so I wouldn't have to put all of it, right?
If you would put your LinkedIn, yeah. On LinkedIn, you would put everything. So
Yeah,
on
I
LinkedIn,
understand.
so the resume is short and sweet and focused and really tailored to a job. And LinkedIn can be long, can be elaborate, can be for anyone.
Right.
Of course, you also want focus in your headline and in your current position and in your summary. You also want to focus on LinkedIn, but you can add all your history, all the history you
Right.
have, and everything you put on your LinkedIn profile are also keywords that you can be found for. On your resume, it's a little bit less is more. Yeah.
Where do I put the link?
Yeah, so in the top section you would put the link.
That next to where I put my address and my email.
So I will show you what you would put in the. So here, so you would, so in your resume, the first section is a resume header with contact information.
Right at the top.
And in the resume header, you have your name, your job title, your contact information, and your personal information. So for contact information, that would be your address if you want. And in any case, your phone, email, and LinkedIn. So those three things you would include, like most of you did. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Any other question? All right, I guess not. Then we're moving on to Miriam. Okay. So Miriam's resume, I think, is too long. First of all, it has 2 pages, and I'm not saying it can be 2 pages, but I do see that every job experience has a lot of bullet points, and bullet points are great, but if there are too many of them, they lose their purpose because you feel like, oh, it's a long list. You want to see like up to 5 bullet points. Want to aim for up to 5 bullet points. So here, I guess we're at we're at 10. At 10 bullet points for each role is a little bit too long. So that is the most important thing, is make your resume shorter. It might, I don't say that I'm against it because of its 2 pages, but if you can manage on 1 page, that's great. But in any case, it should be shorter. Yeah, what I wanted to, your resume was a little bit for recruiter would be a little bit confusing, because when you start reading your profile, you see hardworking and highly competent sales professional, procurement, and business development manager. So first of all, I already see like two different areas. I see sales and business development, and I see procurement. So okay, I am curious about the rest, but then I see you're an office manager, and I'm a little bit more confused because you're talking about sales and business development, but you're an office manager. So that was a little bit, what I would suggest is making 2 or 3 different resumes. So for instance, a sales resume and business development resume, and then a separate procurement resume, maybe. I'm not sure about that because that is less obvious from the resume. And then an office management resume, for instance, because in any case, sales and office management are different kinds of roles. So I would, in this case, really suggest to make at least 2 different versions. Then if you go to the, Miriam is here. Is Miriam present?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just not saying anything. I'm just a cynic, but yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I completely understand. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then what I saw is on the second page, I saw key skills, IT skills, networking, administration, client finance, account, languages. So, okay, the languages, they can be included in every resume version. If you have 2 or 3 resume versions, of course, you can include the languages. But what I would suggest, like the IT skills, administration, and finance, maybe would work better on the office management resume, and the networking, client, account management would work better on the sales resume, because now you have those skills are all great, but they're only relevant for depending on the role you're after. So what kind of roles would you be looking for?
So to be honest, I'm trying to detach myself from like all of the administrational roles that I've done. This is why I'm actually doing this course, so that I can just completely leave that behind, because I've had enough of it, essentially. Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean would you want the sales role or like the Marcom? You were in the Marcom course or in the technical?
Both, actually.
Oh, okay. So, okay, so you would want to get out of the administration roles. And sales, what about sales?
Also, I've had enough of it, so also not anymore. I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay. So if you had enough of it, then this is not the way to start your resume. Sales professional, procurement, business development, because then you're saying that is what you are and that is what you want to be. So really, the role you're after, that should be written in your profile. Because if you had enough of sales, you have to sell yourself a little bit. So if you want to sell yourself as a writer, for instance, and incorporate writing into the profile. So I guess, yeah, even depending on the role you would apply for, it might still be an idea to have two resume versions. And if you would, what you could also, yeah, you could also, of course, try to incorporate this within the roles as achievements, but it's already really long, so that's a little bit complicated. So in any case, try to make it shorter. Try to get rid of bullet points.
I think if I created different resumes, it would be automatically shorter, because then I would like assign, different skills to different resumes so that it would just automatically shorten on itself.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you would get like that, the one resume would only have 3 skills from here and the other also 3 skills, so it would be shorter. And in any case, you could get rid of bullet points on each resume version. So it would get shorter in any case. But try to write your summary or with the job you want in mind. Okay, because if you call yourself a sales professional and business development manager, but you don't want to do that anymore, then it's a little bit confusing. And what about procurement? That is something you did within, like as an office manager?
It's actually in the previous role. Yeah, I think it was more in the previous role. It's just the experience that I had, but it was more previous role.
Okay. Yeah, so we get a question, when a resume runs into a second page, what's the minimal amount of the page to fill up with text? Half the page, less? Okay, so I don't know if there's a fixed amount of text you have to have on a page, but of course we would all understand that if you only have a few lines, then you would really do your best to make it a one-pager. I would say maybe one third, but it's not a rule or yeah, but it's also a feeling. I also saw on another resume, I think we still have to see that resume, that it went on to the second page, but the bullet points were the position started on the first page and continued on the second page. So that is, I think, like a no. So you would really do your best to keep, for instance, this role onto one page. But I think you can manage to make this a one-pager, I think. Yeah. There are also other ways to make it shorter. Like you can try to put this all in one line. For instance, you could get rid of this as well. And of course, like I said, a lot of bullet points. Also this, you could also put it on one line. So there are a lot of ways to make it shorter. Any questions? All right, then we're moving on to Michael. All right. Michael, I think, isn't present, right? Because of the time zone. All right. What I wanted to say about Michael has 2 job experiences, and they're both present until present, and he had 4 bullet points with responsibilities, and here 3, so that's good. Then he added 1 achievement on each for each role. That is a good thing to do, to add achievements. In this case, I wouldn't write it as an achievement. I would just add an extra bullet point here as a responsibility. So the 5th responsibility would be research and open a PayPal account. And here as well, like client achieves goal of shared play for 5-10 minutes. It's client singular, so maybe there's another way to put it, to rewrite it as it is one of your responsibilities to or at least that you're trying to achieve that goal. So instead of an achievement, here for the education, I saw University of California, Bachelor of Arts with a major in English. So I'm not sure what he actually studied, because you can become a Bachelor of Arts for different subjects, for different, different. I just want to know exactly what you study.
So I think English is the thing that he studied.
Yeah, isn't it English?
It's English, like major, you have the major and the minor. So like it's the major is like the subject you're studying.
Yeah, but so then I wouldn't write it as major.
Maybe just say BA English, Bachelor of
Yeah.
Arts
Yeah,
English.
BA.
exactly. Yeah. So BA in English, that would be, and then here you could write anything else to elaborate on the study. You wouldn't end with your, if English is what he studied, you wouldn't end with it.
Yeah.
What you want to know right away, it's
Yeah.
more important than anything else. Actually, it's the most important. So you would start, for instance, with bachelor, BA in English.
There's a question on the chat from Pesach
all
about
right.
shouldn't the work experience be in the past tense? But if he's working at it now, so it should be in present, right?
So yes, he's still working there according to this resume. So then you wouldn't write it in the past tense, only for the previous positions. Of course, I do see here present with a capital P and here without. So always make sure that you follow the same rules for your own resume. I saw in the other resumes, I also saw some mistakes like that, but I didn't want to pick on everything I saw. So always check for these kind of things. Then
question about, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I see here, this is a question that I'm asking more for me than for Michael, but I see here that he has 2 jobs, right? Is that correct, in parallel?
That's how I see it as well, yeah.
Is this the correct way to put it? Do you put one job, then the other one, they're both like in present time? Is that okay?
Yeah, but I would probably in this case include, for instance, the amount of hours he's working there, just to get a clear picture. Like, is it 20 hours there, 20 hours there, or is it 30 there and 10 there, or is it? I have no idea this right now. So that would be a good way to help the recruiter a little bit, to understand a little bit. Why does he have 2 jobs? Are it 2 part-time jobs, or is one more of a couple of hours a week and is the other one 40 hours? We have no idea. So yeah, you would just say full-time or the amount of hours. That's a good, thank you for asking. Also in the summary, he incorporated those 2 roles. So synagogue administrator and development interventionist. I think those are different kinds of roles, of course. And from this summary, I don't know what he would want to do. So again, write the summary from what it is that you're looking for. Would he be looking for another synagogue administrator role, or would he be looking for a developmental interventionist role? And then write your resume towards that goal. So for instance, if he would be looking for more a role that's related to this one, he could also choose to put that one on top. So to switch them up, because you have to look at it like that. What is more important? So and it could be that he is not after any of those roles, but it's just it could be that he would create 2 resume versions as well. That could be. We just need a little bit more information on what it is that he wants. Yeah, does anyone else have a question about this or a comment for Michael? All right, then, so Michael, if you're seeing this and it wasn't clear, let me know, but good luck. Then I received a resume from Orit last minute, so
Sorry about that.
no, it's fine. It's just that I don't have notes for you
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Okay. Alrighty. So of course you have a 2-page resume.
Mhm.
Oh, your resume is the one that I mentioned.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
you would
I should-
really try
Yeah. I
to
agree.
keep that over there.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is the first thing. What I liked about your resume is that you're the only one maybe that is already looking at what is the job you want. I'm not sure, but you're already starting experience.
Yeah, I had in
Like
mind.
translator, technical communication and training. You're already selling yourself, and so that is already, you sold me already with the beginning.
Thanks.
And I think it could be a little shorter as well, although you don't have too many bullet points. It's like 5, 3. It's not that you have too many bullet points or you use them correctly, but maybe you can make it a little shorter, a little bit more compact.
Okay, thanks.
And these two, they are the same company, right?
Yes, but different roles.
Yeah, so maybe you could yeah, they are different roles, so maybe you would want to leave it like that, but maybe if you want to make it shorter, you can make a note, like an extra bullet point what you did in the first
On the previous role. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is great. Like you see immediately the degree and the field of the study and the university and the year. So this is really clear. To make it shorter, you could choose to put the years after here, so that it's a little bit shorter. If you're going for a 1-pager.
Okay.
And I think you really you used all the sections, like from the train from last week training. I really see that you used skills, courses, languages. Like you really really did that well. Phone number, email, LinkedIn.
Is this okay that I put it like I linked it?
Yeah, this is also good. And you
Okay.
have a good link, like a shortened link, so that's good as well. Yeah, so in general, really good. I would make it shorter. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question about this resume.
Mhm.
On the first page, I see there's a bunch of bullets in first person, like and I've never seen that before. So I'm just curious if that's like another standard for writing a resume in first person, or
Yeah. So for resumes, it's it's a lot of eyes. You're right. You could write everything like responsible for led an economic study.
Yeah. Okay.
Currently working with.
Yeah.
Delivering, so you can really get rid of all the eyes. And For your LinkedIn profile, it's the opposite. So you're really writing in first person, like I and me and everything. And for your resume, you're not doing that. So that is a good point.
Thank you.
So it was really easy to get rid of them. You would just skilled in, working with. So it's really,
Yeah.
just it's really easy to get rid of them.
Mhm.
Any other questions about this one, or no, or feedback?
I think Pesach has a question on the chat.
Let me check. Yeah, oh, sorry, I want to read the question for the people that are watching. When the algorithm scans the resume, how will the LinkedIn hyperlink appear? Will their text only show the words LinkedIn or the whole URL? So that is a good question, because so how would we test this? We would say Control O, and it's probably just LinkedIn what it would see. And then here's your answer. It's only LinkedIn what you would see. So, but I'm not sure if that is a problem, because I'm not sure that the systems have a separate field for the LinkedIn profile. So that is, you wouldn't do that, for instance, for the email address, to say email, and then yeah, you have to write it out. For LinkedIn, I'm not sure it's a problem, but if you want to be 100% sure, then yeah, you would write the full link. Well, the full link, not without, I don't mean HTTPS, not that part, but let me go back. Yeah, but the last part. Good question. Oh, sorry, now I'm clicking it.
Oh, that leads me to my next question, actually. I have a logo
Okay.
for my, that you can see here. I have a logo. Should I put it on my resume?
So for the resume, it's really, you would keep it really simple. So that also goes for the for visuals like this, but LinkedIn is the great place to put it.
Okay.
So you don't have to include it on your resume.
Okay.
You also have 2 current roles.
Yes.
So this is independent, and this
Yeah.
is like a job contract. Okay. So it could be, depending on what you want to apply for, it could be also an idea to say like how many hours, or if you want to avoid confusion. That's something that you could do.
Could I maybe say for each of them, I don't know, part-time or 50% or something like that?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say 20 hours, or
That's the
know
thing
what-
is that I work, it's just that I work a lot. I work more than like a full-time job. So,
so how many hours do you work for this company? It's not a
do you
fixed
say
amount
like
of hours?
weekly? No.
Look, if it's not fixed, and it's a little bit, maybe it's hard to put it on your resume.
I can like estimate that it's, I don't know, 60, 40%, 50, 50, 70, 30. Is that acceptable? Or
You could
too
do
vague?
that to give people a picture a little bit of, but it also depends on if you would apply for a job, like a full-time job, then they want to know that you're able to combine your independent work with a full-time job. So then it's good to see that that's a full-time job. But if you're looking for freelance clients and they see that you have a full-time job, then it might be, oh, okay, it's not good. She has a full-time job. She won't have enough time for us. So it's all, you can also yeah, it depends a little bit on what you want to do. You know, if you're going for, or make 2 different resumes again, make one for if you're looking for a new job, like as an employee, and one for one resume as an independent translator, localizer, editor, writer.
It's just that if I say if I'm looking for a full-time job, and probably in the field of technical writing or localization or something like that, I wouldn't want to get rid of the experience that I've accumulated as a freelance translator, localizer, and stuff, because I think it shows my experience, which is important.
Yeah. So okay. Today. Yeah, in that case, but it probably would be good to elaborate on how many hours you're working for this company, so that they are confident that you can work the amount of hours that they're looking for someone.
Okay.
Okay. Those are all the resumes I received. Are there any other questions? About resumes or about LinkedIn already as like pre-homework? No. Okay, so what I wanted to say is the last time we spoke a little more, a few of you were talking about the career gaps, and just wanted to again say, like, if you have a career gap that because of COVID or for another reason, that honesty is always the best way to go about it. So that is the first thing that I wanted to say. And there was a good tip I read is, if you, for instance, are part of a group of people that get let go of because of COVID, that you would incorporate it on your resume. You would write your work experience, and then on the bottom you would say, I was a member of, this is an example, member of 20-person division eliminated during COVID-19 downsizing. This was a good point, I think. So that you're showing it's not because you didn't perform well or whatever. You were let go of because a whole group was let go of. Also, what I said last week, is always good to show that even that you lost your job, that you're busy and that you're productive. So a good way to do this is to show them courses that you're doing, like this one, or maybe you have volunteering experience, any other, or freelance work. Even if you have like a client that maybe it's not even paid, but you're helping someone with something, put it on your resume so show them that you're busy, that you're not sitting around all day waiting for a new job. And another thing another small tip is, when you're, for instance, okay, here the date is the dates are written here, for instance, and they're not bold. So this is okay. So if you want to focus if you want to make something more, if you want to make something clearer, then you can make it bold. If you want to make something less clear, like a date, in the case of gaps, you wouldn't make it bold. You might make it smaller. You can put it to the right. So for instance, if this was something that you wanted to hide, you would put it here on the end. So because we always read from the left to the right, so what we see on the left is really clear to us immediately. So those are some technical ways to make it a little bit less obvious. Then we have a question, which is, I have a quick question, which is probably only relevant to Israel Army experience. I left out my Army service. Is there any point to include it? So for Israel, I would include it, yes, because people want to know, did you go to the Army and what did you do and when and everything. So it's not a separate section. I think here we have one. I think the only Army experience I saw on your resumes. So this would be the way to do it. It's like a separate section, and what's the role and when was it? So, but only for Israel. So if you're applying internationally, you can leave it out. So only within Israel, I would include it. Any other questions? So the next time we're meeting for LinkedIn, so there will be 2 classes. The first class will really be focused on optimizing your profile. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, so this is a great time to open a LinkedIn profile, to just have one already, and then also to get a little, then you would probably understand more of what I'm saying than the next class. So if you don't have one, now's the time to create an account. And the other lesson would be about searching for a job on LinkedIn and networking on LinkedIn. So really get everything out of it. But the first step of having success on LinkedIn is always the profile. That's really the foundation of your LinkedIn success. So that's what we will be doing the next time that we'll be together. Just to be obvious, let me look at the date. It will be in 2 weeks from now. Yeah, so 2 weeks from now, and then the week after that, a lab, and then the week after that, the LinkedIn job search, and the week after that, the lab. So we have.
So we don't have
break.
class with you on October 20th.
Yeah, so next week we have you have a break from me, and then for Wednesday evenings, all about LinkedIn.
Okay.
And that's, in my opinion, way more interesting than the resumes. And also the resume is always a temporary thing that you're doing when you're looking for a job, and then maybe for years you're not using your resume, but your LinkedIn profile is something that you can be doing, be active with on a daily basis, or at least the basis. Ideally, yeah. All right. So if last chance to ask.
Hi, sorry, my computer just died a minute ago. So I just wanted to know, what do you think about this idea? When people just, instead of a CV, just to get like the attention of like the CEO, they send him like a bunch of flowers or donuts, and they just put like a QR code inside, and like it's just like really these creative ways of like, just because they don't have any way of getting through to them, so that's how they do it. So what do you think of like very creative ways of sending your CV to someone?
If they are really creative, then it could be nice. If it's just about sending something, then oh, I hear myself. Then I would say no. But if you have like a really creative way, then you have stories about people getting a resume and sending a special resume, and it goes viral. And yeah. So if you have a really creative idea, go for it and share it with us the next time how it went. But in general, you don't need to send donuts. Of course, you just apply, and we don't even print out our resumes. It's all digital, of course. So but go ahead and let us know. All right, then I would say have a good evening or day wherever you are. And then I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.